Hello and welcome to our meditation class. And today we're going to be covering a pretty heavy subject. This is the beginning of a 10-part series. And let's get the notepad out. A 10-part series, 10 parts. And we're going to cover. And we're going to call it the Dharma, H-A-M-M-A, and then we draw a line here, and we call it the Dharma Pada, P-A-D-A, the Dharma Pada. There are a lot of words for Dharma, but we're going to get to that in the lesson. Let's begin with the first quote from Buddha, his Dharma Pada. He begins by saying, "We are what we think. We are what we think." Then he goes on to say that all that we are, all that we are, arises with thought. All that we are arises with thought. Let's make sure you can see this clearly. This is an S. All that we are arises with, arises. Let's get back to that S. Arises with thought. Now, and this is the first expression that we're going to tackle in this class. Now we're going to get to an explanation of what Dharma and Pada means. Again, 10 parts. But we're going to begin with this expression. We are what we think. All that we are arises with thought. And then he goes on to say, with thought, or thoughts, with thoughts, we make the world. And he's talking about our world, or the world that we think we live in, or the world that we perhaps feel that we live in. And I think we want to stop right here, because this is a heavy subject. And we make the world. We are what we think, exclamation mark. All that we are arises with thought. And with thought, we make the world. We hope that you got pen and paper out and are beginning to put down these thoughts, because as we go through them, we're going to be coming back to them over and over again, because that is the nature of the work. That is the nature of what we're talking about. The main thing that we're dealing with here is what I call truth. And there's a lot of ways to look at truth, but the quest for truth, and it is a quest for truth, will dominate this series. And if you're not interested in the truth, you may not want to continue even from this point on. The truth is not far away, but there are a few fortunate ones in the world who long for it. It's not far away, but it's hard work, and it's hard to achieve. It's hard to achieve not because of its nature, but because of our investment in lies. And we have a big investment in lies. And part of the reason we can't see life clearly is because of our investment in lies. And we have invested for lives and lives and lives. Lives and lives. That means, speaking of predestination to a certain extent, but we have a big investment in the not true, what is not true. Mainly, we don't know any better. Our investment is so much that the very idea of truth kind of frightens us. It puts us in a tailspin. We want to avoid it. We want to escape from the truth because our mind can create for us such a beautiful landscape, a beautiful way of escaping from the reality. It's sort of comfortable. They're dreams. But as you know, these are short lessons. We're going to be going deeply into it. And meanwhile, we want you to do some homework. Go to the internet and begin to take a look at the word Dharma and the word Parta and see what they mean to you as a way of preparing yourself for what's ahead. So tune in next week for the second part of our lesson. Remember, even though we have 10 parts, each part will have in it probably 15 or 20 different small minuets or videos. And we hope that you continue with us in the weeks to come. I'm Joseph Reed, and this is a meditation class 101, and we hope that you join us next week.